Check 1 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're here on Computer and Red Podcast. I'm trying to figure out what is going on with my audio. I'm glad I'm figuring this out. Check. I don't know. Let's try this. Is this better? Well, okay, so what was that? Was that or is it still? Let's see. I just wanted to make sure that my audio is working. For some reason, yeah, I don't know why the audio was messing up like that. I did a whole live stream and the audio was messed up, so I feel like I should just do it over again. Now, was it my it might just be my mic. Could just be my mic. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Okay, well, it's good now. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do this all over again one more time. Hopefully, this Wi-Fi situation is a lot better. I don't know if it was the Wi-Fi, my mic, but let's get into it. Today, we're talking about the new offense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yes, I just did this live stream, and I'm about to do it one more time. So bear with me. We're going to do nice and sweet, straight to the point. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys comment when you guys see this. But anyways, hit the share button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Even though the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the division in 2022, losing in the wild card was not the biggest disappointment. With this team going 7-9, the Bucs left a lot on the table and had fans feeling like they should have had a better season. After winning a Super Bowl in 2020, then being kicked out of the playoffs, feeling like injuries played a big part in 2021. 2022 was supposed to be our revenge year. Right away, we saw that it would be a rough season when our starting center, Ryan Jensen, goes out for what we thought was the whole season in training camp. And not only that, but plethora of other injuries plagued the O-line all year. Even after that, a second time head coach Todd Bowles and Byron Leftwich as our offensive coordinator, with no Bruce Arians watching over him. Us Buck fans felt like we're still in good hands and that we could still make a run. We go on to the season, have a 7-9 record, while our defense is averaging only giving up 18.5 points, and our offense is only averaging 17.5 points during most of the season. With Tom Brady, our passing yards was second in the NFL, our rushing yards was dead last, as well as our yards per carry. Was this the reason why we go most of the season averaging 17.5 points a game? Some people say it was the quarterback. Some people say it was the play caller. Some people say it was both. But one thing we all agree on is that it was the offense that didn't hold their part of the deal last year. After firing our OC Byron and no longer having Tom Brady under center, the Bucs turned to Dave Canales to bring in Seattle's easy-to-learn, quarterback-friendly system. Dave has been around the same system that is at the Rams, 49ers franchise, as well as the Seattle, and had a big part in turning Geno Smith's career around as Seattle's quarterback coach. With this knowledge and a very impressive first impression and interview, this had the Bucs very excited, including myself, may I add, with talks of creativity, simplicity, and star players like Mike Evans saying, quote, "I've never been this open." Supposedly that was the quote. Buck fans feel like they finally have a creative and non-predictable OC that they've been craving. But is this the case? Never mind the fact that he's never called plays in the NFL before or completely been responsible or hasn't been responsible for game planning on game day. But what exactly are the plays that will be brought to Tampa from Seattle? What do they look like? Are they actually more creative than the plays we've been running? Is the grass greener on the other side? Is the devil we know better than the devil we don't know? The only real way to know and to find out is to go through the season. But maybe there's some gems we can see on tape from last season that can give us a glimpse of what to expect. Compared to second-ranked passing offense, Seattle ranked 12th in the NFL. Excuse me. But their rushing attack was ranked 18th. Now, it's not the best, but still way better than finishing last. But even though those rankings and Geno Smith at the helm as their quarterback, they managed to be a top 10 scoring offense, ranking number 9, averaging 23.9 points a game. We could simply turn around and say that averaging 23.9 points a game could have won the Bucs, 3 more games last year? The Green Bay game, the Carolina game, the Browns game. But we all know football is a little bit more complicated than that. In any case, I decided to watch tape of week 10 of our offense going up against the potential offense that we will probably have this upcoming year. Seattle. Now, there's no telling how many plays we're taking from Seattle or how similar it will look, but I figured we can try to take anything from it because, they have 2 legit wide receivers, some tight ends. We have 2 legit wide receivers, some tight ends. The offense almost built the same as ours, So going off of the stats in this game, the Bucs win this game 21-16 with 16 more passing yards at 258. And the Bucs also rushed for 161 yards, which is outrushing the Seahawks by 122. Wow, that figures. But we all know, stats only tell you the ending of the story. They never tell you how you got there, right? So I decided to watch the tape. The very tape you see right behind me. The very tape you see right behind me. I've noticed right away, I noticed last year the quarterback was choosing matchups over schemes in the playbook. Tom Brady was. I've been saying that all year. Getting rid of the ball faster than letting the play develop with plenty of time in the pocket. I noticed more time in the pocket than the opposing team was giving their quarterback. So I noticed Tom Brady had more uh, um, more time in the pocket than Geno was having in the pocket. The quarterback was refusing to take shots. Several plays being drawn up to take shots, but Brady's not taking them. And despite popular belief, several plays that had great route concepts, even some creativity. Most people complained about being so predictable, right? Like when having Chris Godwin in the slot, but everyone knows it's a bubble screen when he's in the slot. There was a play in the game where Chris Godwin was in the slot, and we did run a bubble screen. But it was to Julio Jones. But the genius part of that play is it was a fake bubble screen that actually had Chris Godwin and Mike Evans slip out right off of the fake bubble screen for a wide open throw. Maybe this game was an anomaly for great play calling. But again, I don't really remember having too much games where I was upset with the creativity or play calling or the predictability. But again, that was just me. If you don't believe me, you can watch the film behind me on my other channel. I'll post it upload it later. The home film by itself, it's about 60 to 70% of the plays that we ran. The passing game was what I was mostly focused on, but to give context, in the second half, we ran the ball a lot, seeing how we was ahead and just basically killing the clock. With that said, the run game was the easiest to identify in the difference of the two teams. This is one part I'm pretty sure we will be a lot better now that Dave is here, not only because I think we will be more healthy on the O-line and we added some more talented pieces than last year, but Seattle ran the same rushing plays the Bucs were running, the same type of running plays. But more. The Bucs didn't really like getting too fancy with their run plays. It was echoed by coaches at one Buc places, also by players, and also evident in this game. Seattle's creativity in the run game plus adding of zone rushing should bolster our run game. With that said, back to the passing game. In the first half, I found myself being underwhelmed with creativity of the play calling for Seattle. I didn't see many schemes being drawn up to make it easier on the quarterback or for the wide receivers to get open. I must say, though, I was surprised and happy that there was a lot more shots down the field to be taken than I thought would be in this system. But the opportunities that they took seemed a little forced. Todd Bowles' game plan was great, and the play calling might have had something to do with them looking the way that they did because, Todd Bowles would call blitzes at the right time and they were getting home, so Geno wouldn't have much time to execute. I also couldn't stop noticing just how well our players on defense seemed ready and prepared to stop anything Seattle threw at us. Most of all, Jamel Dean locking down DK whenever he was on him, which was most of the time. But this brought up things that I've been worried about. An easy offense to learn is an easy offense to defend. But I also know this is supposed to be the same system as our defense also has, trouble with this offense that, the same system the Rams run, the same system that the 49ers run. So I continue to watch. As the first half comes to an end, I notice the different plays that our offense is asked to run. Some of the plays are schemed up to get our wide receivers wide open, and some of the plays are called relying on our wide receivers route running. Different ways to call plays. Nonetheless, I'm starting to feel the devil we knew is better than the devil we're about to find out about. In other words, our offense with Byron is better than the one we're about to get. But then the second half starts, and right on cue, I started seeing more creative plays and more route concepts that look like more of what we've been hearing from, our new OC. More plays with running backs slipping out of the flat, more plays with tight ends slipping out, more plays with both of them slipping out. As far as production, Seattle is now moving the ball enough to get in field goal range and put 3 points on the board in the third quarter. Then in the fourth, they drive down the field into the red zone just to fumble the ball from a strip sack fumble caused by Devin White. He's the man. At this point, I'm wondering three things. One, was this game plan was this game plan to hold on to the plays to the second half, or two, did they just adjust after halftime? I know that sounds ridiculous to think a team will hold on to plays, but certain coaches do this, especially the good ones. They like to hold on to their money plays till the opponents mess up, and then they execute on their mistakes. We've seen this many times going up against Sean Payton's offense, right? Where it seems like we have their offense under control, and then as soon as our offense messes up, their offense capitalizes and ends up scoring on us. This could also explain the jump in production with Seattle, seeing how we in the second half were only up by 2 touchdowns, right? Only being up 2 touchdowns in the first half and then not making any mistakes. I can see Seattle not being rushed or even panicking to, bring their plays out, especially against a team like us who were struggling to score more than 17 points a game. Or number 3, are we just playing our bend but don't break defense? Seeing how we're just running the ball, killing the clock most of the second half, and usually when our defense is doing that either way, when we're just running the ball, killing the clock. The production did pick up, though, and I must say play calling and design looked a lot better. There was also plays that should have been really good in production that was just shut down by even a better defensive call by Bowles. But even the 2 touchdowns Seattle threw against us was something that our new OC Dave Canales has talked about, right? He talked about, scouting reports, knowing the weakness of the other team, stuff like that. Well, both touchdowns that were thrown on us was thrown directly at Sean Murphy-Bunting. Some would say our weakest corner. Even though there were different formations, the route looked the same to Sean, right? When you watch the tape. The first touchdown looked like a go route from the slot that was going to turn into a corner route, but ended up being a post route. Second touchdown, also a go route from the slot that Murphy thought was going to turn into a post route again, and this time it turned into a corner route. Obviously, these routes were already going to be a corner route or a post route from the beginning of the play, but the way the wide receiver ran it was like they were running a go route that might break into something, which forced Sean to pick a side to shade just in case. And when Sean did, he was wrong on both times. This could have been a situation where the route would go either post or corner, depending on what side the corner shaded. It could have been a situation like that. Not quite sure, but it looked like something that we've been hearing about. The Buccaneers ended up scoring a 3rd touchdown that allowed us to continue to run the ball, kill the clock, even though Seattle's offense did find some life. So here's the breakdown. A lot of people say everyone in the NFL pretty much runs the same plays and concepts, right? To a certain point, it's very true. There are only so many ways you can draw up a certain route concept or attack a defense. With that said, there has been an undeniable boost in young quarterbacks and their production so early in their careers in the NFL, especially when you compare them to the old NFL quarterbacks that had to sit and wait 2 years because they don't know the playbook or, it's too complicated. With that said, I've definitely seen the difference in those playbooks and other playbooks in the NFL, but it wasn't this in Seattle. Yes, Seattle has some good concepts and plays, but it wasn't anything too different from concepts that we used. Besides using running backs and tight ends to overload a zone most of the time, we just used extra receivers. Is that being more creative than how we ran it? Or did we just have more talented receivers at the receiver position and they didn't? So it forced them to use tight ends more. I don't know. I do know there's better offenses out there and easier ones than the ones we ran, but I didn't feel like I was watching that in Seattle. I felt like it was the same. Felt like we were just calling a better game. And by the time they got to their plays, the game was already over. Now, I know Dave has no power over the play calling or even much over the game planning over there in Seattle. And so you can't really put too much stock into this. But I am hoping Dave has schemes and plays that wasn't used in Seattle and uses them over here, or at least use the good plays that were used over there in Seattle, but use them a lot more over here. I wanted to feel like I was watching something special, like when you watch tape of the Rams or a Kyle Shanahan offense, or even Mike McDaniels, who at one point was looking like a mad scientist with the Miami Dolphins. But what I saw was one half of plays that looked like they didn't want to risk anything, and then a second half that looked like they felt like, oh, well, we're starting to click, so let's start unloading our plays. I don't know. This could be an anomaly for both teams. We did play in Munich or Germany or something like that. So maybe Byron was just on a good one that day. Maybe Pete felt like, hey, let's be conservative. I'm going to try to watch some more games. But look, when it's all said and done, there's still a chance Dave comes out here this year and lights up the league with some Kyle Shanahan or Doug Peterson type of plays. But at minimum, we should have the same type of concepts and routes as most NFL teams anyways, or at least what we were running last year. But only we have Mike and Chris running them, right? So even if we do have some basic stuff that they were running over there in Seattle, Mike and Chris is better than DK and Lockett. And we've never failed to have a top passing offense with these two. So in reality, when it comes to the OC, the playbook really is not the biggest part, to be honest. What we really have to worry more on what we have to worry more than how creative the play is or how predictable we think it might be, because we have the same OC and the same plays for 4 years, right? Is how he calls the plays. Can he get the play in on time, right? Is our OC aggressive? Is he too aggressive? Is he not aggressive enough? Does he take risks? Does he protect the quarterback from himself? Does he protect the quarterback too much, right? Does he take enough shots? Does he pick the right time to take shots? Is he balanced with the play calling? Does he know when to abandon the run? Does he abandon the run too early? Does he feel the flow of the game? Can he make adjustments? Does he have good game plans? All these are way more important and just happen to be questions that we will not be able to answer until the regular season starts. So until then, let's just keep trying, watch tape, stay glued to training camp and preseason, and let's pray. I hope you guys enjoyed that. This is just some of the things that I've seen in the game tape that you're watching back there, the Seattle and the Bucks. Hopefully my audio is a lot better. I don't know what happened. Again, this is the second time I've done this live stream. I went to play back and listen to the audio, and the audio was really bad. Hopefully it's still good. Yeah, it sounds still good to me. We have 4 watchers this time. Last time we only had 3. So shout out to the guys watching. We have 36 subscribers. 36 subscribers right now for the channel, right? So shout out to all the 36 subscribers who have subscribed to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Make sure the notification bell is on. I am going to try to do some more content. I will be doing more content on Sundays for sure from here on out. That's something I'm going to be doing from here on out. So you want to stay tuned for that. And I got some other things that I want to try to do, but I don't know for sure if I'm going to do. I said it in the other live stream, but now I'm holding back on saying it on this one. But anyways, once again, share this with anyone that wants to know about the new Bucks offense, or maybe wants to know about the old Bucks offense. We talked about both of them here. And listen, again, it doesn't mean anything. Maybe Dave Canales has a whole bunch of plays that he's known since over there being with Shanahan and all, the different schemes, and he just hasn't gave it to nobody, and maybe he's holding it in his secret playbook. Maybe he just, they just won't want him to give the plays that he wants to do. Maybe he has plays that they don't want to use, and now he's going to use them over here, and they're great plays. We don't know. We don't know how much of our offense is going to look like the Seattle offense, but I will say this, off of this game tape behind me, it wasn't At least in this game, it was nothing special. I will definitely be watching some more game tape. I don't need to watch any more game tape of the Bucks. I might watch some other games though, if depending if I'm gonna do the other content that I want to do. I'm wondering if I'm gonna do that, but I am gonna watch some more game tape of Seattle. I'm gonna watch at least one or two game tape of Seattle against one of their rivals. One of their division foes, because you want to see them when they're going against a division foe that knows them. And I also want to watch a game where they had their best offense output. And maybe I'll watch a game where they had their worst offense output and see what happened there. So I will dive into this and dissect it a little bit more. But once again, if you haven't hit the like button, stay tuned, because we will be having more content on this channel. I know a lot of people didn't think that this channel would continue, but I will definitely continue having more content on this live stream, and I am serious about this channel. The real OG in the building says fire stream. I do believe it was a nice stream as well. I appreciate you, real OG. Appreciate you, man. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. I will see you guys next time. I gotta go to bed. Deuce.